Hello, I am Manan and today I am going to read Geronimo Stilton, Cyberthief Showdown. Chapter 1. I was one happy rodent. My dear readers, it all started early one morning when I woke up feeling fresh as newly made mozzarella. I felt very happy, as happy as a rat in a cheese factory. Why was I in such a great mood? Well, I woke up to warm, bright sunlight shining on my snout. There were little birds were chirping. A whiff in the air of freshly baked cheese. Yes, it was one of those days when you want to say to every rodent in the whole wide world, life is beautiful and the world is mouse-tastic. I was in such a good mood that I decided to work out, which does not happen too often. I brushed my teeth and took a quick shower, humbling one of my favorite tunes, and quickly got dressed to go to work. What what is my job, you ask? The most amazing job in the world. I run the Rodents Gazette, Mouse Island's most fab mouse newspaper. My name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. And when I walked to the office that morning, I greeted everyone I saw with a smile. First, I ran into Miss Angel Paul's Benjamin Stretcher on her way to school. Good morning, Miss Paul's, I squeaked, waving to her. But she looked the other way. It didn't bother me. I just assumed that she hadn't heard me. Then I ran into Samantha Squeaky Paws, my house cleaner. I have known her for a very long time. She has always been kind, helpful, and friendly. Good morning, Mrs. Squeaky Clean. I, sq- I squeaked with a smile. She looked at me and scowled. At that moment, it didn't bother me. I figured that she was in a bad mood. Then I ran into my tailor, Cetrus Stitchford. Hello, I said politely, but he didn't reply either. Weird. Was he also in a bad mood? Next, I said hello to Mrs. Buzzy Mouse. We have been neighbors for a very long time. I have helped her with the grocery shopping and even sent her a large print copy of the Rodents Gazette every day because she's older and has trouble reading the small print. But instead, she frowned at me. Shame on you, Germano, she said in a disapproving tone. I wondered, maybe I forgot her birthday. I'm sorry, I replied. Have a great day. Still looking outrageous, she turned and walked away. I started thinking that some outbreak of weird bad mood was spreading in New Mouse City. Otherwise, why was everyone being so unfriendly? The rest of my walk was exactly the same. I smiled at every rodent I passed, but nobody would greet me. Everybody turned the other way around and pretended not to see me or replying in a rude way. Pretty soon, I started to wonder if the mood outbreak was contagious because my happy mood turned more and more rotten with each step I took. I only realized what was wrong after I reached the newsstand. All the newspapers, except for the Rodents Gazette, featured terrible stories about me on the front. What was going on? Red in the snout from embarrassment, I quickly brought all the newspapers and I hid it behind the stack of newspapers so nobody could see me. Chapter 2. You should be ashamed of yourself. I called out, Good morning, when I walked into the office, but nobody replied. Everyone turned the other way. looking insulted or pretended not to hear me. Really? All of you have turned against me too? I cried. I stomped into my office, slammed the door behind me, and put the stack of newspapers on my desk. Each one had a terrible, awful, horrible story about me on the front page. I was making the headline news, and the news wasn't good at all. I looked over the photos, and what I saw left me speechless. In one of them, I was stepping on the mayor's paw. In another, I was stripping a mouselet who danced with me. In the next one, I sneezed right onto a helpless stranger. How was that possible? I am a well-behaved mouse who always tries to be kind to everyone. I had never done any of these things, but it was definitely me in those photos. How weird. I started looking them more carefully, and then it hit me. These were similar photos that I had posted online after a party for the mayor. I remembered the photos well, but someone had changed them. I never stepped on the mayor's paw, nor tripped the mouselet, nor sneezed on someone. They had been edited. Who had done this? And to the photos, and more important, why? I wondered. I was thinking about this when my father, Willem Shortpaws, barged into my office. He slammed a copy of the Daily Rack on my desk. You should be ashamed of yourself, Geronimo. Is this the way to behave? He scolded me. Then my sister Thea walked in with a draft of my latest book, full of red marks. Joe, your latest book is full of mistakes, she reported. Mistakes? I asked. Yes, he replied. It's like you forgot what all about grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Then one of my assistant editors, Mr. Ravi, walked in. Geronimo, is this some kind of joke? She asked, waving a printout of an email. Why would you send out these mean emails to the whole staff? This one says we all have stinky cheese bread. That is not very nice. What has gotten into you, grandson? My grandfather boomed. Do you have cat treats for brains? I, I, I stammered. I didn't know what to say. I might as well have cat treats for brains because I was so confused I couldn't think straight. Nothing made any sense. I knew that I had sent Thea a book manuscript filled with mistakes. I read a draft 1,000 times to make sure grammar, spelling, and punctuation were correct. And I certainly hadn't sent out an email to my staff telling them that they had cheese bread. I don't have a mean whisker in my body. I swear I did not send these emails. I said. Mrs. Ravi slapped a pile of papers on my desk. Read them yourself, he said, and then walked away out of my office. I quickly read through the emails. They were clearly sent from my email address, and each one was just as offensive and mean as the stinky cheese bread email. One of them said, you are more annoying than gum stuck in my fur. Another said, your stories are so boring they put me to sleep. It's not possible, I said. I would never send these kind of email to my co-workers. They are like my second family. Thea and grandfather Stilton walked out, shaking their heads. I began to sob. Why, oh why, is this happening to me?